Alright, so AEW All In was 6 hours long, and legend has it, it's still going. I kid. So I watched this show the past weekend with my friends, and it was a lot of fun, but I do think it's a testament to the quality of the show that it was 6 hours long, technically, 7 hours including the pre-show, but the crowd was still super into the final 3 matches, and we'll get there. But let's start with the opening contest of the Ops versus the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd, who I think is an unofficial member of the team. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, the Ops won. It was a post-match story that really got things going, as in with Samoa Joe out, who will step in to help with Hangman later on. I was sort of hoping that we would get like a show-long narrative of Hangman's allies getting taken out one by one. Some part of me also wonders if this is when Hope will return and take Samoa Joe's spot and lead the Ops. Or will this lead to tension between him and Powerhouse Hobbs? We will see. Also, as we'll see later on in the show, there's a few more new guest trios teams to the division. What does that mean for the Ops? We then had the men's casino gauntlet match, which was a lot of fun with a lot of fun spots. Much like the Rumble, this was a chance for us to see matchups that we don't normally get to see, interactions that we're not used to. Also, the MJF versus Mark Briscoe, like the right guys to start us off. I really do hope we get more matches, or at least one more big match between these two on a pay-per-view. Maybe All Out? We'll see. I don't know. Now, to my shock, there was not a big return in this match. Like, yes, Juice Robinson, sure, but I was kind of wondering maybe Orange Cassidy or maybe Darby Allin would return, but that gets saved for later, I guess. Spoilers. Now, MJF winning this match was the right call, as this was the first of 3 big steps tonight to replenish the main event division, the main event title scene for Hangman. Spoilers, I guess. And then, probably the only low point, and I don't mean that in an insult, I mean like this was the only sad part of the whole show. We got an unfortunate promo from Adam Cole where he had to relinquish the TNT Championship. He is, now we know, out due to a concussion, and everyone sends their love to Adam Cole. Like, he didn't call it a retirement speech. Apparently he got talked out of it at the last minute. We all hope to see him back again soon. With that, the Fatal 4-Way felt like it was a foregone conclusion. That's all it is. With Kyle Fletcher winning the TNT... The fuck? I mean, I feel like that might not have been the... Fair enough. Okay. Justin gets the feel-good win. That may have seemed odd at the moment, but okay, the belt, it felt better in the aftermath. I'll give it that. Also, this feel-good moment can lead to one of two things. Either Fletcher beats Dustin for the title, or Sammy betrays him and takes the title back for himself. Either way, the TNT title needs some serious rehabbing, and this is probably a good place to start. Up next was a tag match I didn't know I wanted. Now, look, I was at the school. I thought Ospreay versus Swerve probably should have been the match here, but look, I get it. The Young Bucks need opposition, and the story told was amazing. Can 2 very good singles wrestlers beat 2 tag team specialists? There were multiple insane spots, including twin pile drivers that turned into twin house calls and hidden blades. Ultimately, Ospreay and Swerve won, and now maybe we can have the Young Bucks rehabbed into good guys for a tag division that is sorely lacking in true babyfaces. And now Ospreay and Swerve are free to join MJF in the main event scene. Spoilers. Then we had the Women's Casino Gauntlet, and I was worried that this would, be the match to cool down everyone after that great tag match, but I'm so glad I was wrong. These ladies refused to let the crowd die down. While this match was loaded with outside interference, it accomplished 4 things right. 1, it introduced, I'm gonna butcher this, Syuri and Alex Windsor, which will shore up the women's division, while some of these ladies move forward into 2, a tag team division. That's why all the seconds like Sky Blue and Penelope Ford and even Harley Cameron were out there. We have so many teams, and I think it could actually work. And 3, it was different from the men's because this match focused primarily on interference. 3, it was different from the men's match because it primarily focused on the interference. And 4, the right woman won in Athena, which I think made Monet's win, again, a foregone conclusion. We then had the triple threat tag match for the tag titles, which, look, I had one edit on this card. This match should have been a ladder match, add another team. Now look, I get it, they're saving FTR for the Hurt Syndicate in the singles program, but I mean, the match did not need to be this long. But the post-match angle was great, with Cope making the save for Christian by jumping Nick Wayne, although Christian can't deserve to get jumped. Like, if we're being honest, the idea of Nick Wayne going on his own on the card, it's a good thing. Nick Wayne, climbing the card, leading the patriarchy going forward, although I don't know if they're going to call it the patriarchy anymore. The fact is that that's not a bad thing. Also, The crew could have been the fourth tag team in a ladder match. I'm sure Leo Rush would take all those bumps. Anyway, Cope saves Christian and tells him to go find himself. And all I can imagine is Cope and Christian versus FTR at All Out in Toronto, and that sounds amazing. And then we have our final 3 main events of this show, and it never stopped being great. First off, we have Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. Both had huge entrances and video packages. This felt like a big deal, and Moné having a fur coat with the names of everyone that she's beaten, like a great touch. Both women legitimately felt like megastars the whole time. They told a masterful story that Toni could never put Moné away no matter what she did. Moné had everything scouted. It took 7 finishing maneuvers to put Moné down, which shocked the hell out of me because, again, I think we all assumed that Athena versus Moné, the rematch for the world title, was a foregone conclusion. But now I'm realizing we get Athena versus Storm, and this, it's going to be an amazing program. But also now Moné's character can rehab. She's no longer undefeated. She suffered her first loss. So what happens? Now the one thing I hope that doesn't happen, that I'm sure won't, is that Moné, pulls the Triple H card of, that was one night. I'm great on every night. Bullshit. We then had Okada versus Omega 5, which, look, it was never going to be the same as the first 4 matches. Still a great match, but in different ways. We're now incorporating the injury of Kenny Omega and the bald head of this asshole, Don Callis. Omega had the match won, but Callis pulled the ref, and that was all the opening that Okada needed. Now, for the love of God, only have Okada wrestle pay-per-view matches and rehab him into a special attraction that we all know that he is. Also, technically this frees up Omega to go after the AEW Championship. Spoilers. And finally, the night ends with the most important match on the card. A Texas death match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. This was an absolutely bloody affair that started off quite nasty with Hangman stabbing Mox in the head with a fork, and you actually see the blood starting to come out and seep, and it only got worse from there when Mox used actual barbed wire to cut him open. It was brutal all the way through. These guys were bleeding, maybe 60 seconds in, if that, and then came the interference and the Avengers. First, it was the Death Riders interfering, but Ospreay attempted to answer the call, but then his neck got, to quote, Pillmanized, and he was put down by the Death Riders. I imagine this will put him on the shelf until Forbidden Door. But after that, the Death Riders beatdown continued, and they were going to do a plastic bag spot until Darby Allin and Bryan Danielson made the return to take out the Death Riders. Hangman nearly had the match won, but Maria Shafir saved Mox, only for the Bucks to come down and take down Page again. And that's when finally, Swerve made the save for Hangman. He handed him a chain that he used to win the match, and it turned out to be a perfect story of AEW overcoming the Death Riders. It was a hell of a moment when Hangman raised the title above his head, a title that we hadn't seen in damn near a year. And I think it's fair to say AEW is on the run of a lifetime right now. And I also think it's fair to say that on some level, Mox won. But that'll be a video I see to come hopefully next week. But for now, let's enjoy this victory. And let's take a moment to look at the exciting landscape we're looking at right now. A replenished title picture for the world title with Hangman, MJF, Swerve, Ospreay, and Allin not too far behind. A replenished tag and trios division along with the returns of Copeland and Bryan. A refreshed women's division, the reset of Moné, and a tag division on the horizon along with a TNT title around the waist of a deserving star. AEW is no longer the underdogs, not now. They're a company that fought from behind for 2 years to have a night like this. And by God, they deserved it. And they're back with vengeance. I fully understand if the biggest criticism of this show is the fact that it was too long. I get it. But I can't really think of much else that would change. To me at least. AEW All In. Thumbs up. 9 out of 10. Damn near a perfect show. It was great. That's it. What do you think of AEW All In? I'm well aware this video is coming out this Wednesday of Dynamite, so I'm well aware the fallout has been talked about quite a bit, but nonetheless, I want to talk about it as, after all, I am an AEW mark. That's it. What did you think of the show? Let us know down below. We'd greatly appreciate it. What do you think is the fallout that's going to come? And yeah, catch you all next time. See you, everybody.